Oh, hi there. Today I'm going to talk about Mark Messier, and I'm going to discuss a theory I have that I have not seen video evidence or any content of any kind to back it up, but it is going to be a tough sell for a lot of not just Vancouver Canuck fans, not just people who like Mark Messier, not just hockey fans, but anybody, because it's a little outside of the box. But anyway, I'm going to explain some things. One, the National Hockey League. It's an entertainment industry. It's a sector of the government to tell people, explain a story, and entertain them. Gary Bettman is the CEO of National Hockey League. He is not the most powerful man associated with the league. He is the face of ownership of the National Hockey League. But he has people that he has to go to, and they make whatever deals, strategies, and propaganda that they feel is compatible to today's society. Anyway, I'm going to go to the '94 playoffs. The Vancouver Canucks lost to the New York Rangers. The game is available to watch, Game 7 on YouTube. I suggest you watch it. It's quite enlightening. Anyway, a couple years later, Mark Messier shows up. They pretty much gut the entire Vancouver Canucks roster of all their significant players of the '94 team. They bring in Mike Keenan, also a despised character in Vancouver. But to be the devil's advocate here, Mark Messier, when he showed up, he did have an ego about him. He did act like a jerk and look as though he didn't have to feel bad about it. And I mean, it's obvious he was cleaning house because he was contributing to players being gotten rid of, like Trevor Linden. But there were also many characters behind the scenes in the Vancouver Canuck organization, money men, who were also removed. And he may have had a point there in taking them out of the NHL as far as their role in whatever it is they were doing in that particular association. There were many people in the Canucks, the Canucks team, not just the coaches, not just the players, but all the shadow figures in that organization who may have done bad things and were bad at what they were doing, and in all righteousness and all that, they deserved to be removed from the game, because it was a series of horrible events happened after '94, and the riot is one thing, but it probably gets a lot worse than that. We don't really know. So Mark Messier comes riding in here on his high horse, and a bunch of guys get canned. He was probably right. Mark Messier is not stupid. I don't like him. Let's get that straight. I do not like him. But him coming here, saying they're going to be a playoff team and they don't make the playoffs, him suing us for money, and him ditching a lot of our good players, that's the stuff we know about. There are a lot of different facts about not just the National Hockey League, but especially the Vancouver Canucks at that time, that are not public knowledge. And I think that this series in 1994 between the Vancouver Canucks and the New York Rangers was more significant than people realize. It was more than just the National Hockey League. And I think the clues are in the uniforms. And you go, what do you mean by that? The Vancouver Canucks lost wearing German colored uniforms, while the American team was wearing, you know, everyone knows the New York Rangers, they have American looking colors. So it became Team Dark versus Team America. And top player, very arrogant man, Pavel Bure, Russian, very significant, and people have to take into consideration that the games are more than just entertainment for us. They're entertainment for the oligarchy, the higher-ups, the elite of society. And anyway, fast forward a couple years to 1997, Mark Messier shows up. The Canucks ditched the logo, ditched the jersey, ditched the German jersey. Some people will argue, well, there's only X amount of colors, like somebody's going to have that combination of colors. Although nobody has it right now, I might add. Anyway, you know what else happened in 1997? Hong Kong was handed over back to China. What has happened since then? Vancouver has seen a massive influx of Hong Kong people, and they're making a lot of the money. I think what it boiled down to is that during the handover from Hong Kong back to China, you know, sort of, they didn't entirely hand it back over, but, you know, it's a big, long conversation. But they said, we want to make our a Chinese, you know, occupied zone in North America in compensation for British colonial rule in China with Hong Kong for, you know, for that amount of time. And the decision became between the New York Rangers, which Wall Street, hub of economic activity, prosperous, and Vancouver. And Vancouver losing to the New York Rangers signified that Vancouver was going to become Hongcouver, was going to become the extension of China into North America, and see how well they do into business. Now this is adding a whole different level of complexity to a situation that people don't understand. People still go, oh, blah, 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 the game's not fixed, the referee just made a mistake, blah, 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 oh, his stick broke, how could you fake that, blah, 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 blah. But they don't understand that that's just one small part of a larger part, of a larger part, of an even larger part. And a lot of people don't want to see it that way, but that's how capitalism works. It's the fucking ladder, man. The higher up the ladder you climb, the more of the world you can see. And I said the NHL is a money-making machine, very much true. And people who are above the NHL also are interested in making that money. And yeah, well, the new logo is the orca. I personally do not like the orca. To me, it does signify a changing of the guard and things like that, but you do notice at Vancouver Canucks games, it's only Asians who really go. They're the only ones who can afford the tickets. So, I mean, all the players on the Canucks are white, but, you know, it's still, is it Chinese money backing them up? I mean, the Aquilinis are rich, but who are their sources? And also a reason why Vancouver may have been picked for, you know, the extension of Hong Kong into North America is just because through travel it's easier to go from Hong Kong to Vancouver than it is from Hong Kong to New York. So that's probably another reason as well. But this does have to do with hockey. It has to do with the politics of hockey. And I'm just pitching an idea that somebody else may or may not have thought of. They certainly haven't made a video about it like I have, because money can do many things, but deceive people is the thing it's best at. And turning the game into a simplistic... Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. See